In this video, we're going to be looking at how to use the stream section of Google Classroom. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to want to do is go to classroom.google.com and log in with your district account. You should have already had your classrooms created. If not, there's another video for that. I'm going to click on the class that I want to make the announcement on. And I'm in my stream. This is the stream section of Google Classroom. The top part, we already went over in another video. And this bottom section is really what we're referring to when we're talking about the stream. So if I had assignments that were coming due, say in the next few days to a week, they would be showing up right here for the students. And this is where I can communicate. I can make announcements or post different things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go to settings. Before I even try to do my first announcement, I'm going to come up here and click on the settings. And I'm going to scroll down to where it says stream. This is already covered in another video, but I want to make sure people do this correctly because I have had some teachers have a few issues with this. The first thing is students can post and comment by default. And this is great for virtual discussions and things, but if you leave it on all the time, you really need to be checking on a regular basis to make sure students don't post things that are inappropriate or untrue about the class or just misusing that feature. Another way to secure the stream is you can actually come down here to only teachers can post or comment. And this is what I would suggest you keep it on unless you are doing a discussion kind of activity with your students. At which point you can say students can only comment, which means you create a post, maybe a question, and the students can respond to that comment, to that post. Or if you really want to open it up to post and comment, it's fine. Just again, you need to be aware that students sometimes misuse it, so really keep an active eye on it. So I'm going to do this to teachers can only post and comment. Classwork on the stream. This is a personal preference, and I've even left this off many times in training courses. By default, it shows condensed notifications, which says, hey, the teacher has posted a new assignment. If you click on the assignment, it'll take you to the full thing. You can show the full assignment, including attachment and details right here, or you can go down to hide notifications. I would suggest if you're going to use the stream for announcements and communication with your students to hide notifications. Just let them know that classwork can be found in the classwork section of Google Classroom. That's a mouthful. Basically, it's easier to organize the assignments. They don't move around as much, so students can find the work they're looking for, whereas on the stream, it will keep moving down every time you add something new, and sometimes students can miss an assignment if they're too reliant on the stream. So I suggest hiding notifications, but it's up to you how you want to do this. If you use one of these top two options, your stream is going to be a lot more active and a lot more busy. So if you do post an announcement every now and then, it might get lost in the shuffle. So just kind of keep that in mind. So those are the two settings we really want to set. By default, show deleted items is already turned off. I'd probably keep that there. And I'm going to click Save. And now it takes me back to my stream page, and I can go ahead and post my first stream. Let's say, welcome to class. Okay. From here, I can go ahead and add from the Google Drive. It'll show you my recent, or I can go to my drive. I can search my drive. I don't have anything in here because this is a sample teacher. I can upload from the computer by browsing, or if I go to add and go file, it'll automatically take me to that upload. So they're both the same thing. It's just one less click. But I can also add links. So if I have a link to a website, let's say www.bamberg1.net, I can add the link and it'll search for it, and it'll usually give it some kind of, there we go, little thumbnail. Now I'm ready to share my announcement, my post with my students. I can go ahead and click post, but maybe this is something I want to share with all of my classes. So if I come up here, I can choose all 3 classes and knock it out all at once. It will appear in the post in the stream for all 3 classes. Or maybe I want to post for just one student. Okay, student 2 is a brand new student in my class. I wanted to welcome them personally, and then I can post it. So you can do a lot with that. What you can't do is choose multiple classes and then choose students. If you're going to choose students, you have to choose one class at a time, and that's going to be true for posting assignments or posts or anything else. You can choose multiple classes, or you can choose by students in a class. You can't do both. Lastly, when I go to post, I can post right now. I can click on that little down arrow. I can schedule it for later, which is really nice, because if I set down one planning period and scheduled out a bunch of announcements, I could schedule for a whole week or well ahead. A lot of things you could do with this. But I could schedule it out to whenever I wanted to. Or I could say, you know what, I'm not done yet. I'm going to save the draft and then I'll finish it later. So a lot you can do here. I'm just going to go ahead and post it. And there we go. It's got a timestamp. It's got my message. It's got my link. And that's what the students will see as well. And this is a great way to say, hey, I'm communicating regularly beyond just throwing classwork at my students. Because a lot of people rely on this, which this is where 90% of what you're doing in Google Classroom is going to be in this classwork tab. But this stream is a good way to communicate with your students. Now, if I have a reoccurring post, then I can click over here where it says reuse post. And notice it will show my current classes as well as classes that are archived. So even if it's class that I've archived from previous semester or previous year, if it's the same post, all I have to do is go in there. This one doesn't have any, so let's see. There we go. I have some posts from previous classes, and I can reuse it. And just like before, I can select who it's going to, when it's being sent, all that good stuff. So that's the basics for using Post. I encourage you to use it as much as you can as a way of communicating. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't need to be every detail of your class. But anytime you really want to drive home something with your students, hey, report cards are coming due, or don't forget the midterm exam, or whatever. Hey, here's something that we didn't have a chance to cover in class you might enjoy. Feel free to use this as a way to communicate with your students, especially those students who don't come face to face, because it really does kind of keep that communication open. I hope this video has been informative. If you have any questions, please feel free to email your technology coach. Thank you.